number 2, use similar triangles to determine a missing side length. So Kyle is drawing triangles for a math puzzle. And here they are. We've got a 50 and an 85. And we're wondering if they're similar. So let's go through the process. Check to see if the corresponding angles are equal. The measures of K and U are missing. So in that case, angle K can be calculated. 180 degrees for a triangle. Subtract the 50 that we know. Subtract the 85 that we know. And we're left with 45 degrees. So that is 45 degrees. U, we have 180 degrees for a triangle. Subtract the 85 that we know. Subtract the 45 that we know. And it works out to be 50 degrees. So we know that angle U is 50 degrees. So angle K was 45. And angle T is 45. So far that corresponds. Angle L was 50. And angle U was 50 as well. And then angle M was 85 degrees, as was angle V. So all of our angles have a corresponding angle between the two triangles. So are the corresponding angles equal? Yes, they are. Are the triangles similar? Yes. Now, I didn't check the side lengths. I didn't compare them. As it turns out, you don't need to. To prove that the shapes are similar, show that the corresponding angles are similar, or the corresponding sides are similar. You don't need to show both. So if you've got angles that match, you know you've got similar triangles. You don't need to check the lengths. If you don't know the angles but you do have the lengths, you can compare them, and you don't need to worry about the angles. Next up, what is the missing side length? Compare the corresponding side lengths to find the scale factor. So LM is 24, UV is 8. 24 divided by 8 is 3. So our scale factor for that side is 3. KM is 21, TV is 7. 21 divided by 7 is also 3. KL is an unknown. TU is 10.5. We know that our scale factor should be 3, so we can solve for the unknown side length. We know that if this is x, then x divided by 10.5 needs to equal 3. Actually, as shown here. So, multiply both sides by 10.5 to get x by itself, and you'll know then at that point that x is equal to 31.5. So multiply that side by 10.5, multiply that side by 10.5, those cancel each other out, x equals 31.5. Now, we can also use proportions. We know that KM is 21, TV is 7. We know that KL was an x, and TU is 10.5. So we've set up this proportion here. Using that, KM was 21, TV is 7, x is unknown, TU is 10.5. We've got this. 7 times 1.5 will give you this 10.5. If you're not sure what number to multiply by, then divide it out. 10.5 divided by 7 will give you 1.5. So that is the reversed, so that you know what you're multiplying by. Then multiply 21 times 1.5, and you get the 31.5 when you do it that way. So x is equal to 31.5. So there's a few ways to deal with that to come up with the same solution. So, assuming that the triangles are similar, which as it turns out they are, you can calculate the missing side length. just like you can fill in the blanks on these missing angles as well. All right, one last show you know, please go ahead and do that. Oh, before you get started, please take note, this EF is a length of 5.9. Round everything to the nearest tenth when you're doing your calculations as well, please. Go ahead and get started.